Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for another play with the glue book that I have been making. If you followed along with my last video doing the glue book, this is the first time I've ever done a glue book, and I'm making it so it's a sort of hybrid journal really. So it's part glue book, part journal. So I have just cracked on really in slow time and painted lots of the pages so that I have less to do later. And I just thought I would come along and have a bit of a play. I've cut out some bits and pieces here, doing another one of the glue book pages itself. So I'm just going to literally glue a sheet of sheet music into here. Okay, try and get as close as I can to the edges there, like that. I mean, obviously I had painted these pages because I wasn't sure where I would have my next glue page spread, if you see what I mean. But I mean, that's fine, it doesn't matter that it's been painted. You know, other than the fact that obviously I wasted my time a bit painting the pages, but it was only kind of once I had done a few more and things that I thought, actually, I need some more up this end of the book. So I'm just going to pop my sheet music down like that, and then just use my glue spreader, hotel card really, but I'll call it my glue spreader. Just make sure that it's nicely stuck onto the page as the base. Oops. And then, I mean, I have just been tearing my pages out, so continuing in that same vein, just going to sort of fold it down and then just tear along. So just fold it down and then I'll just tear that out. Okay, and then I will obviously you know, trim it top and bottom as well, or again I can just fold that up and just tear that out as well. I know that I said in my last video, or not my last video necessarily, but my last one doing this glue book, oh my gosh, they are such good fun to do. I'm really enjoying working in this, and yeah, I mean, I really hope that it turns out nice and I can do these from time to time, because it really is very fun. It's really nice. I mean, junk journals generally, they don't really kind of have any rules anyway. You know, anything goes, doesn't it, in a junk journal? So, and that's what's so freeing about them in the first place. But I mean, these glue books, they're like taking that to the extreme really, because it would have actually been faster and easier to probably cut this. But there we go. I wanted a sort of rough type edge there. So I've certainly got that now. Right. Okay, so I have cut some bits out. Yes, they're very freeing, and you know, junk journals are freeing anyway by nature, but these are even more so, you know, if that's at all possible. Now, this is from a vintage piece, like a vintage pamphlet. This is obviously from a vintage book. It's not hugely vintage. I think this was like 1980 something. But this was from the 60s. And these are some printables from my shop, which I've put in there. They're called glue book favourites. So far I've done a couple of sets, and there's a set 1 and a set 2. And what I've done, I've made the printables all really massive, so that if you're doing a glue book, you've got massive bits. And then obviously if you wanted them smaller, I've printed some smaller, and I've just printed them. In fact, I've probably got them here. Printed them 2 to a page, and then I also printed them 4 to a page. So if I just show you this is them at full size, so you can see they're pretty huge. This is set 2. They're pretty huge, and yeah, but I was wanting big pieces. And then this is them shrunk down, printed 2 to a page. So, you know, maybe a better size for more conventional junk journals, I guess. And then these ones were printing 4 to a page. So, you know, really tiny and really cute. And actually, this one in particular, I thought could just be cut out and inked up and just used as a journaling card on its own. It's just those mix of flowers, obviously. But I mean, if that were just coffee dyed, I thought that would just work nicely as a journaling card on its own like that. Anyway, so that's them printed 4 to a page. So I just wanted to kind of give you some ideas there, because obviously I have made them very big intentionally for these types of projects. But of course they can be shrunk down and, you know, printed kind of more than 1 to a page and things. Right. So yeah, I've printed out, sorted out all these bits and pieces, which I just thought might look quite cool on this page. So just a case really of, you know, checking out how they would look best. Thought I would spare you all a little bit of the prep time. I mean, that's really quite cute. I quite like exactly as that is, to be honest. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this piece down first. As you can see, I had a bit of a mishap there because I had printed it double-sided while I was trying to make the printables. I think I probably cut out the thing from the other side and then decided that I wanted to use this side, and I'd obviously printed or cut through half of it. So that's why it's that shape. But it's fine because it's going to be tucked behind, so you won't actually see that anyway. So it's all good. Right. Take that one. And just pop that one down there like that. Yeah, I've got a really eclectic mix of stuff going on in this journal. It's not a matchy-matchy journal by any stretch of the imagination, which, you know, that's a bit of a sort of a stretch for me to do something. Oh, that's quite fun clustered there, isn't it? Oh, now, do I prefer it like that? Except I can't help but feel like that great big orange flower looks a bit like flames coming out of that mouse's bum. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks a bit like flames coming out of his bottom? Possibly does, doesn't it? So, yeah. Probably better I don't do that. Otherwise, we've got like a very strange effect going on. It's just funny sometimes when you put things down. And actually, sometimes you don't notice until like it's too late and they're stuck on the page, and then you might not even notice them for a few days, you know, and then you suddenly look back and think, oh, I've just noticed that I don't know, stuck that man's hand and it's touching that lady's bottom, or, you know, I've stuck that person's hand covering the other person's face or something like that. But yeah, that I just thought, oh, actually, he looks a bit like he's got flames literally coming out of his bottom. So it's probably not a great look. Well, I guess it depends, you know. If you just wanted to flick through to cheer yourself up, maybe it would be quite entertaining. Right. So I think I had it originally, the lamppost here. So again, this lamppost is from this same publication, actually. Maybe that flower is too big to have on there. Let's just have a look. So I want to have a little postage stamp somewhere. Not sure that's the right postage stamp. I know it sounds weird, but I'm not that keen on those stars on there. It seems, I don't know what's happening with it, but for some reason it's just not, I'm not feeling that one. Oh, there we go. I'm feeling that one a bit more. That felt a bit circusy. Well, and to be fair, you know, hey, a mouse on a bike with flames coming out of his bum, how much more circusy could we get? But as I'm not going for that feel now, then it's probably best that I find a different stamp. Maybe I'll have them like that, because I liked the colour of that original stamp. Oh gosh, what's going on? Right. Do we like that orange flower? It is vibrant and nice, isn't it? Let's go for that. I'm going to just go for it before I can change my mind. So, and what I've done also, so along with painting some of the pages, I've made some journaling cards, because I think I said in the last video where I, you know, was working in this glue book that, you know, what I'm planning on doing is obviously to make this like a hybrid journal rather than an entire glue book, if you see what I mean. I've obviously left the pages, you know, left quite a few of the pages plain for journaling. And alongside that, I wanted to add journaling cards, just paper clipped onto pages. So I have now, started making some of them, and I'm trying to do them in the same style. Oh look, now what's happened? That is still coming out of his bottom. What was going on there? Ugh. Oh well. Oh well, we're just going to have to go for it and just have it coming out of there anyway, I think. What? I don't know what I actually did there. How that happened. I have no idea. Perhaps I need to move him forward a bit. If I have it this way. I must have had that orange flower much further over, I think, before. So now I've got exactly what I said, you know, I didn't want to have, really. Oh well, it doesn't matter, does it? Oh, that's quite nice. Yep, I'm going to go for it like that. So just going to glue down this lamppost piece. Yeah, so the journaling cards, I've made them in a sort of similar way, you know, with the glue book theme going on them. And again, they're like an eclectic mix of styles and pieces. They're not like all children's books. They're not all, you know, printables. They're not all anything in particular. They're just a mixture of stuff. So hopefully it's just continuing on the theme of lots of interest to look at. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, pop this one down. Whoops. Using my glue lid now off the side of the desk. Okay. Okie dokie, and then I'm going to have that there and this down here. Now, do I want that tucked under or tucked over? I think I'm going to have it tucked over like this. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Again, I'm filming ahead, so, you know, who knows when this video goes up. It may be things are more back to, you know, normal. I don't know. I'm filming this obviously during the lockdown period. So I'm trying to get ahead with filming. So, you know, I don't know when this will go up, whether the lockdown will have ended or whether it will be continuing. So if it's ended, then that's fantastic. If it's still going on, then I hope you're all staying safe and sane in your lockdown. So there we go. Right, and I'm going to have that like that. So I'm just going to pop this here. Okay. There we go. And then some blue round in the middle. Okay. Started watching something called The Tiger. I think it's called The Tiger King. I had heard a couple of other people on their channels. Actually, I think I heard Chelle and Clint talking about it. They hadn't watched it. And weirdly, I did not set out to watch it. But that same evening that I had watched their video of them saying, you know, that they weren't watching it, but they'd heard people talking about it, it was just really strange because we were flicking through, you know, deciding what to watch. And suddenly my son said, oh, I've been watching this. And it just happened. It was that same thing. So I said, oh, I heard someone talking about that today, you know, on their channel. So I thought, oh, we'll give that a try. There was a guy on there, I think he had like 200 odd tigers. So yeah, that's what you call having your hands full, isn't it? Okay. I'd quite like to have this bird on here. I mean, I know that's kind of getting quite busy then, but, you know, does that matter? I mean, it is a glue book after all. So I'm just going to stand up so as I can look down and get a better, you know, visual on this, because sometimes you kind of, things look different close up, don't they? I quite like him there. I know that is quite cluttery, but I quite like it. And weirdly, I quite like that flower there. So I think I'm just going to do that. Tigers, they're such a beautiful animal, aren't they? Absolutely stunning. Well, to be honest, I mean, most animals are pretty beautiful and awesome, aren't they? I love elephants. They're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, probably elephants and tigers, they're probably my favourites, to be honest, because they're just so stunning to look at, aren't they? And I mean, I love the colours of the tiger. They're just, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colours, aren't they? And then, you know, I love the, I don't know, just the shape of the elephants and things. They are just, you know, there's something really lovely about them, isn't there? And the way they move in their kind of lumbering way, they're just gorgeous. Right, so although that is quite busy, I'm quite liking it. Now, do I want anything else? That's a bit weird because it's like almost in a line. And that's even more in a line, so I do quite like having that extra flower there, though, weirdly. Maybe I need it somewhere more. Oh, I don't know now. Does it matter if that's in a line? Does it actually look like it's in a line? Doesn't really, does it? Let's just pop that down. Okie dokie. Pop that down there. Okay. I saw on the TV the other day, well, two things actually. There was a guy who he had, I think he was like, you know, supposed to be running the marathon this year, the London Marathon. And of course, you know, that has now been cancelled or put on hold, I'm not sure which. And so he decided to run the marathon from his back garden, you know, in his back garden. So, I mean, obviously he looked like he just had a pretty regular size garden. Well, quite a big garden, but I mean, not massive. I mean, a lot bigger than mine, but, you know, it wasn't huge or anything. And, right, I'm going to do that here and do another page facing it. Yeah, so he decided that he was going to run the marathon in his garden. So, as I say, I mean, it looked like a good sized garden, but I mean, certainly not marathon sized. I can't remember now how many times it said that he had to run around his garden. I mean, obviously hundreds and hundreds. I don't know how long it took him. I didn't really kind of hear that part, but I think, I don't know whether he did it for his original charity that he was going to be running the marathon for, or whether he's, you know, donating the money to something else. But anyway, his son was, bless him, he'd kind of, you know, rigged up a finish sign and all that type of stuff. So it was a really lovely, uplifting story to see. And I know that there's been lots of people doing really nice things like that. I mean, the other thing that I saw that was actually really cute was, you know, The Rock, you know, the actor The Rock. There was a really sweet video of him with his daughter who, oh my gosh, how cute is she? I mean, she looked like she was only about 1 or 2. And he's there obviously cleaning his hands with her, you know, and he was singing one of the Moana songs. Oh, it was so cute. So, yeah, that was really nice and brought a smile to my face. So there's lots of really nice uplifting things to be hearing about and watching. And then I heard about another guy who he climbed Everest in an imaginative way. So he did it, you know, by going up and down his stairs. Now, I don't know how he calculated how many times he'd have to go up, but it was something like, I don't know, 4,500 times up and down his stairs, or, you know, something like that. I don't know the exact amount, but he went up and down his stairs all those different times. And I can't remember now how long they said it took him, but it all started because I think he was kind of up and down the stairs, you know, as his wife was kind of asking him to do things. And he said, oh gosh, you know, been up and down the stairs so many times. If I do this much longer, I could have climbed Everest. And that's how it all started. So, yeah, as I say, I mean, I haven't got a clue how he calculated how many times he would have to go up and down it, but I don't know whether there was like something online that he could use to give him a calculation. I'm not really sure, but he did that, which, how fun is that? Well, I say fun, it didn't look that fun actually, because he then, you know, halfway through, his knees and things were obviously incredibly painful. So he was like kind of doing it with like peas on his knees, you know, frozen bag of peas on his knees, and things, just to try and get rid of some of his knee pain that he was then having. But anyway, he did do it, and again, I feel like he did do that for charity, maybe to donate to the NHS, the health service here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that's definite or not, but I don't know about you guys, but I kind of see these things on the news, and then often I only get half the story, because obviously someone's then come in the room, or, you know, you end up not really fully hearing the whole thing. But anyway, so yeah, lots of fun and imaginative things going on. I mean, how fun climbing Everest by way of going up and down your stairs would be, I'm not so sure, but you know, that's certainly an admirable thing that he did, isn't it? So, you know, especially if he was then donating that money to charity, then that's really nice. But yeah, well, and I guess it's one way to alleviate the boredom. You know, he presumably is not a crafter, so it's not like he could be just crafting his way through the time. So yeah, I mean, obviously you wouldn't have the problems with like the altitude and stuff like that, you know, like you would if you were... Right, I'm going to actually cut this rather than faff around like I did on the other one. Like you would if you were actually climbing Everest. Obviously that's, you know, that's not a problem going up and down your stairs, but hey, still a, you know, an admirable thing to have done, I thought. So, I mean, I said about it at dinner to my, you know, the family, my husband and my children. And you know what kids are like, so they were kind of like, what? Oh, that doesn't sound that bad. You know, like they're not impressed, are they, very often? I said, well, it sounds quite bad. Imagine, like, you know, going up and down the stairs 4,500 times, you know. And they were like, you know, kind of, I mean, they didn't say it, but you could kind of tell that they probably were thinking, oh, it doesn't sound that bad. I could do it, you know. But, yeah, I thought it was fun. So this is that little, you know, leaflet thing that I have been using. That's where I got this from, just from some of the adverts. So I just flick through and see what else I've got in here that looks like it would make an interesting piece on a page. So, I mean, I love these, absolutely love these. So I may take this one on the bottom. Like that. Oh, I'm sure that I couldn't even go down up and down the stairs for an hour, to be honest. And it took him, you know, hours and hours. I mean, as I said, not really sure how long, but I mean, 4,000 times, let's face it, you're not just looking at a couple of hours, are you? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I couldn't just keep going up and down the stairs for even 1 hour, to be honest. So I was impressed, even if the children weren't that impressed. I mean, to be fair, when I kind of pointed it out, they were like, well, yeah, you know. But you could just tell that they weren't really thinking it was that impressive. Right. So I'm just having a look through. I've got, obviously, the other images from that beautiful Enid Blyton book that I have been using. So we could pull, like, this hedgehog or something in. Or let's have a look and see what else. I just going to flick through and see what other glue book pages that I've got in here, because I don't want suddenly like all the same things clamped together, clustered together. So yeah, feel like we maybe need some more green on here, to be honest. So if we have this, and then let's just pull this gorgeous book back in. Right, so looking through, I'm not so keen on this image here. I possibly would not necessarily use that. But I do like these daffodils on the, you know, the page before it, or on the other side, sorry, of the page. And I also really like this, which again, I'm not so keen on this image. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is attempt to cut out this, yeah, maybe this one, or maybe up there. Maybe that one up there in the first instance. So I'll just cut that out. So again, I'm just going to make that smaller so it's easier to get to. So if you saw my other video working in this glue book, you know, and you haven't ever done a glue book before, did you feel inspired at all? Have you, you know, maybe had a go at one? Honestly, I just can't tell you how enjoyable this is to do. It's very relaxing and yeah, just really nice and really freeing, because obviously there's no rules whatsoever. I mean, not that there are rules, like we say, with the journals, but this is even more free than that. So, well, I'm finding it to be even more free than that. So, yeah. Did anyone feel inspired and set out to make anything similar? And I mean, obviously when it's finished, you know, I will do a flip through. Again, as I said before, I haven't decided how to do the cover or anything yet. So, yeah, have to give that a bit of thought. But I mean, it's just really fun to do something different, isn't it? I mean, I very much get quite bored doing the same thing, and I like to just do different sort of styles, and you know, and I do love colour, as you know. So for me, this was quite a nice excuse to be able to use a few colourful things, really. Right, got that there. Now, I did say I felt it was needing a little bit of green, didn't I? Ah, I just thought. So in the glue book, the second lot of glue book printables that I did, let me try and find the ones now that are on the full size page, I think. I've got some of these big green blotting book pieces, which, I mean, I said it needed a bit of green. It doesn't come much greener, does it? Isn't this the most beautiful colour? It's really like this lovely emerald green. So I'll just cut that out. Okay. Oh, I quite like that daffodil beside there. That does look quite striking, doesn't it? Oh, goodness knows what's going on downstairs. I can hear quite a lot of noise from something. I don't know what. Oops, maybe have some flowers there. Now, also got a couple of roses. I'll just cut one of those out. Now I'm thinking maybe something orange would be good, but I guess it doesn't really need it necessarily, does it? Let's see how it looks once we've cut this little rosebud out. Okay, so yeah, I might, when I finish this, go and have a bit of a rummage through my daughter's bedroom on her bookshelves and see what other old books that she's got that I could use to make some more of these. I mean, her room is just in need of a clear up anyway, so I'll use that as my excuse. But it would be a good idea, I think, to help her clear it up a bit. Right, so like that. Now, oh, I've just thought I had cut out, and I wonder whether it's just still slotted in here somewhere. I bet it's not. I'd cut out this cute rabbit image from the black and white Enid Blyton book. Was that in there anywhere? No, of course it's not. Of course it's not, because it just doesn't work that way, does it? Let's just have a look. I've got these, you know, the frame men that we used in the last one. So let me let's just put these back roughly how they were. We have that down there, and then we had that one up there. So I'm just wondering, I don't know how this will look, but I just thought, oh, actually I've got some of those. They weren't what I was looking for. I had cut out a little rabbit and from the other Enid Blyton book, which I thought, oh, that would be perfect, but I don't know where it is now. I could have him there. Right, let me pull in that other Enid Blyton book and just see if there's anything in there that might look really sweet. So oh, how cute is that dog? I should check that I'm in frame actually with the book. I suddenly thought. Let's have a look. Well, that's quite nice with the circus. And especially as I have that whole flamethrower thing going on. Well, I haven't now because I moved him forward, but it's just so like flame blower, perhaps I should say, not flamethrower, flame blower. Right, okay. Oh gosh, what a rubbish joke that was. And yeah, if you were just tuning in for the first time, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, what a bizarre bizarre lady. She's finding that really funny. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Is that like too much going on that page now? Let's just stand up. Right, do you know what? I'm going to get gluing a couple of things down because I do find that very helpful once I actually have a bit of direction. You know, I don't find it that helpful when everything still can be moved around. So let's glue this black background first of all. Okay. So in this book, it's not going to have any pockets or tuck spots or anything like that. I'm going to keep it as like plain pages and then the glue book pages is my plan. Yeah, that's the plan. And then lots of pull-out things, but they are just going to be clipped in with paper clips. That's how I'm planning for the book to be. Let's just have a look. It's quite nice, isn't it? Now, I'm thinking we need something turquoisey to pull in the blue from over here. Could have that there. Let me stand up and have another look. Right, just before I commit to this now, let me just check that I wouldn't prefer something else. You know, I mean, I really want the pages to be very interesting to look at. But of course, you know, there's a happy medium, I guess, between interesting to look at and literally overloaded with stuff that you actually then feel, ugh, you know, can't stand looking at it. I don't want it to obviously look like that. I want it to be, you know, eyes drawn everywhere, kind of don't know where to look because there's so much pretty nice things to look at, is what I'm hoping it's going to look like. So I'm just wondering whether I needed to tone it down by having just something less bright down here. So let's just have a look. Okay, let's take that out, try that back. Decisions. Perhaps let me just muck about a bit with the layout and just see, you know, whether it needs to be a different way. If we have the stamp there. sure that this is quite such a winning layout, to be honest. Trying to, yeah, figure out what, you know, what's looking unbalanced about this. Not sure. Got one of my inky inches there. Like maybe it needs toning down a little bit. Maybe it's just getting too much on there now. What if, right, let's just clear everything out of the way and start again. What if we cover the wording up completely and then have something more like that going on? No, I don't like that either. Oh, it's so hard sometimes, isn't it? When you just, you know, can't quite get it as you want it. Oh, I wish that I were live and you could all tell me what you're thinking. Whether you are liking that green. I mean, I just really do love that green, to be honest. So I just want to get it on here somewhere. Because I just love how it looks. Maybe it's the daffodil that's wrong. Right, do you know what? I'm going to glue this green down. Oh no. Okay, let's glue this one on. Hope I don't regret this. Well, if I do, I do. So, you know, like we always say, there's nothing that can't be covered up or redone or, you know, if you don't like things, you can just disguise them, can't you? So, right. I mean, I do just love that colour green so much. Okay, so I'm thinking possibly the daffodil is wrong. I'm not sure about that. So let's just pop that on there. Now, I've got some bird fussy cuts. So, I've got an orange stamp. Let's have a look through those and see. Right, well that's not a bad colour. And to be fair, neither is that. And to be fair, neither is that. Oh, and to be fair, neither is that. Oh, am I annoying everyone else now with my to be fair? To be fair, to be fair, to be fair. Well, perhaps I should go for that bright. Oh, it's so hard, isn't it? Right. Let's just go for this. I've got one cut out already, so let's have a play. Again, you know, I don't know whether this is going to be any better. I don't know. Oh, I don't like that bird because he's looking the same way as that one, which that's a bit weird. And in fairness, so's this one. Oh. Oh, I just hate it when things don't come together as you want them. Right, I'm going to now cut out one of these big sprigs of the roses, or the rose. And actually one of these, I think, as well. Because maybe these would be better colours than those yellow daffodils. So let's just cut around that. Again, I mean, as I always say, you know, don't worry too much when you're fussy cutting things like flowers because, you know, nobody really knows what that flower's shape was in the first place. So long as it still vaguely resembles a flower, that's good enough, isn't it? So, you know, don't feel, oh no, I've cut that leaf off, or, you know, I've cut that petal off. I think that's okay, as long as it still vaguely resembles a flower. It's still all right, isn't it? Okay. Okay. This one is quite a fiddly one because it's got lots of leaves and things. But I mean, again, you could probably just cut it down a bit if you didn't really want so many of the leaves. You know, you could just cut some off, to be honest. I don't think you have to do all of them. Okay. Okay, nearly there. Oops. Said nearly there, but now that it's the trickiest bit to go. Right, okay. Okay, again, I'm just going to stand up so that I can just see a little bit clearer. Oops, I just now chucked that on the floor, that flower. What did I do with those? Here we go. Oops. Okay. Right. Maybe more like that. I don't know. I can't get this page to quite work for me. I don't know quite why. It's very frustrating. I can't quite see, you know, what it needs. Just pick that flower up off the floor. Maybe just like that or something. Oh, it's one of those times where I probably need to go away and then come back to it, and you know, it would maybe suddenly fall into place. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to just do that, I think. Yeah. Right, let's go for this. So I'm going to pop this one down. Okay. Then this one. The flowers, I'm sort of layering them up, so they kind of have to go in. Excuse me. Yeah, they kind of have to go in order of how they're being stuck down. So, and this one. Okay. Pop that one like that. I'll just take my wipe now and just press them down. I think I said before, but I'm not inking anything in this book. I'm just leaving everything completely uninked. Yeah, I'm quite liking it uninked, I think. Okay. Now, do we think that's the right image? I know, I'm probably driving everyone mad now. Oh, just before I glue it down, I just want to double check that it is. So I'm just going to pull in, maybe like that hedgehog. No, that's definitely not the right image, definitely not. Okay, let's just go for this now, because it gets to the point where you're kind of like sick of looking at it. So it's just time to go for it, isn't it? Right, let's pop that down there, like that. And I'm going to have those flowers to the side. Okay. sparkling. So just pop that one on there, like that. Press that down. Got a frog in my throat now. Okay, right. Are we liking that? Oh, hopefully we are. So let's just take that postage stamp. Like that, pop that there. Okay, and then the flower bunch. Flower bunch. Not really a clump, is it? Okay. So I've printed these on a mix of copy paper and 160. Actually, it might be 180 GSM. I have said recently in comments I'm sort of experimenting with different papers at the moment because they've changed the paper that I ordinarily use, and so I'm trying to find some paper that I really like. So this is like a super smooth paper. It's from Amazon. I think it is actually 200 GSM or 180 rather than 160, but it feels still quite bendable. It's not like a really stiff solid one. I just suddenly spotted him down there. Is that just going a step too far? Probably. Right, I'm just going to check with that daffodil, just in case we prefer the daffodil to the bird. Oh, I feel like the daffodil's a bit too, you know, ta-da, look at me. Nope, yeah, but we won't have that. So we just pop this one on instead. Okay, do that round. Yeah, so I just search up like super smooth white, and then the, you know, the grade like 160, 180 or whatever, and it came up. I need to update my Amazon, you know, affiliate links on my website, and then you'll be able to see the exact product that I've been using. It's quite nice card, and it produces, you know, really nice images. Okay, got there in the end. Yes, I mean, definitely that took me a lot longer than I expected. Not quite sure why, I just couldn't get that to come together, but sometimes that's how crafting is, isn't it, to be honest. But I like how it looks now, to be honest. And again, I'm staying with that whole eclectic mix so that the whole book feels, you know, really different and really interesting to look through. I want it to be, you know, a very interesting and vibrant book. So hopefully it's taken on that appearance. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that episode and maybe feel inspired to do your own glue book. Yeah, so I'll hopefully catch you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks then. Stay safe. Bye.